Thanks for watching the second devlog for Breakaway. I am Backspin Interactive, and without further ado, I'll just jump into the changes. The main change is that I've added motion blur to the ball. So now when it's spinning, it actually looks a little bit more like it's spinning. Could be a bit much at the moment, but I definitely needed it to just be able to tell where it's spinning, which direction it's spinning, and how fast it's spinning, because it's kind of hard to tell without that motion blur. Um, I will link the GitHub in the description of what I use, but it did have to get modified to support like clamping to the ball's mesh, so it didn't like blur outside of the mesh too bad or at all. So that was one of the big changes, and otherwise, really not much changed with that that GitHub repository I used for the motion blur, basically like a per pixel motion blur. The next change is that the ball actually has a outline that doesn't disappear when it gets far away, so it's rendering like about 5 pixels regardless of if it's close or if it's far away. Might be a better way to do that, but that is the best method I've found so far. I tried to do a depth draw disabled, I think, which would allow it to not clip through the floor or the walls if it bounced too close, but it's a very imperceptible clipping, so and that really didn't work because then the ball couldn't be drawn on top of it very easily. So I kind of was able to make it work by just making the collision for the ball a bit larger than the inner mesh, and so now the collision kind of matches the size of the ball when it's further away, and it barely appears to clip through. So that was definitely needed just for visibility purposes, because it's pretty hard to see the ball when it's far away and in the shadow. So now that's fixed. And the other big fix is, oh, so close, is the settings menu, and the main menu are actually navigable now by controller. And we can like change the volume, change the rendering scale. So like worst case scenario, you know, crappy computer, you just put that rendering scale down. It's not too bad using FSR 2.2. I wish there was FSR 3 in Godot, but eventually I'm sure we'll get it. And FSR 4 I know is a bit more particular to the card you use, so I'm not going to go for 4. Even if it is implemented, probably. Although I could, you know, implement it as an optional feature if your card supports it. But for now, that's pretty much all that's been done today. It was a pretty productive day, just to get that done, and I'm looking forward to kind of polishing and implementing more features in the coming days and weeks and months, and really hope to have this out in early access or some sort of playtest by spring. Let me change that rendering scale back up because it looks pretty rough compared to the 100%. 70 to 80% seems pretty good though. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any suggestions or thoughts, and comment, like, and subscribe if you would like. Thank you.